in the beautiful red Rootas machine. He's a lot of experience and just loves pedaling this boat. Big tall guy with one of the worst beards you've ever seen is Mark, but got a big handshake on him, and he just loves monstering this 6-litre Rootas machine around this track. Have a look at it.
He certainly does. He had a great run up in Berry in South Australia back in January. And also out there, the white and the blue boat of Cabs. Eben Rooter going past the boat, looking very settled. Making some wake now for Cabs with Brenton Walsh behind the wheel. Looking very speedy and into turn number 1. Exits the second buoy and applies that power. A lot of these guys running NASCAR engines in these, and they take all of the restrictions that NASCAR wants them to run in America, so they're actually quicker in a boat than what they are in a NASCAR.
Brendan Mason and Impulse getting a little bit excited into turn number 2 there. It's just threw the boat onto its gunnel in the mid-corner. But
chasing Kash out there by the look of it. It's got a blower on the top. Boat number 77.
Yep, so that is
Heath Hamilton.
Yeah, Heath Hamilton, the Commodore of the Glenmaggie Powerboat Club. Sorry, it shook me a little bit because I thought this was a 6-litre, but it is open practice. So obviously he's in the blown boat category in the National Drivers' Championship. Mark Ebenroot got that boat sitting beautifully through there, so just not too much bow lift and just driving in a really nice straight line. So it'll be interesting to see when he lines up alongside his co-6 litres for the Trojan, but love to see Mark get up. He's, as I said, campaigned hard for a long, long time.
There's Heath Hamilton in chasing Kash. Going past the start-finish line at the moment. Starting to chine walk down into turn number 1. And he backs right out of that lap, so that one's not going to be any good for him. This is not qualifying, folks. This is only practice ahead of the National Drivers' Championship qualifying coming up very, very shortly here on Lake Moala, and that's got a misfire in it.
That's just dropped a cylinder on the way through there, so I guess we're going to see Heath back out of that one. That would have popped a big red light up on the dash, bring it back, so hopefully he's just lost the spark plug on that one, but didn't sound horrible, just sounded like he'd dropped a cylinder out of the equation, but Mark's happy, big wave from him in the cockpit as he comes past the commentary box, and he should be. That looked really nice out there. This is Brian Kilpatrick in the Melodee.
Sounding pretty strong as it goes down into turn number 1. I haven't seen this boat before, so we'll have to keep an eye on Brian Kilpatrick in Melodee X1.
Yeah, watched him race up at Darga Winter Spectacular last year with Arnie Joy and Trace and all the gang, and this boat's, you got to get a look at it. They built the boat themselves. Got a little bit of a misfire there as well.
Yeah, that's got a breakdown as well.
Could be on the limiter, actually. But yeah, they're just super passionate about it. They do everything themselves. And the boat's just so consistent. Loves a river race on a tight track. You can turn this thing on a 20-cent piece.
Because that's one of the smaller boats. That'll be an 18.4 or an 18.6.
Yeah, it's yeah, a little bit of a miss. So bringing it back in.
Yeah, no good blowing it up in practice.
No, I'm surprised. I said this crew, Brian and the crew, they work super hard on it. They love it, but the boat essentially is their own creation. They've done so much work to it. It's something that they consider that their own. Quite a unique hull shape when you get around and have a look underneath it, but does some of its best work up there on the beautiful Hawkesbury River, cutting laps on tight tracks.
Just another boat leaving the boat ramp now, heading for turn number 1. Possibly Impulse with Brendan Mason behind the wheel. We'll pick up on that when he does come through, but well, I'm going to stick my head on the chopping block, Andrew, and I'm going for a tough enough James Clark victory this weekend for the Trojan Trophy.
Well, you've gone safe with that one because you know he's always going to be there, but I reckon Mark Eben Rooter in Rootas is ready for a go. Hey, when this guy comes past, you need to give him a wave, because if I'm not mistaken, I've got to check. It's hard from our sun angle. If this is a Rango with Troy Cameron in it, trying to pick up whether it is or not. No, it's not actually. No, that's Tony Wills, sorry. That's Tony Wills in the Buddha machine. So running in the 105. So the first of our open boat categories. Any class capable of racing over 105 miles an hour must be a sailboat. So as we've seen earlier in the day, for good reason, when you get to speeds over 100 mile an hour, if you're not around boat racing. We often talk mile an hour. It's 160 kilometres an hour. So 105, about 165, 66 k's an hour. You must be in a capsule. So they have GPSs on board these boats. They're allowed to go 104.9. If you go 105.1, you've got a penalty. So
that penalty is you go to the back.
Yeah, you drop a lap. That's Melodee. Yeah, I've just, as that boat's come past, I don't know that I've seen that boat before, so I'll, unless it's actually cat with Steve Rumble without the canopy on. They said it looks, I'll try and get it on the way through. So we've got a really bad sun glare up here in the commentary box, but we'll try and pick that up for you. But this is Tony Wills in Buddha.
Get right out of the water there as he goes over some of the chop.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, Andrew, that blown alcohol racing was permitted without a cell.
Yeah, it is. And the risks associated with the sport had to make the difficult decision to bring sails in, and we've never looked back since. But the Buddha boat looking very, very nice in the back straight. So I had that initial moment, but settling down nicely, running hard and flat, and that's what you want to see if you're trying to sit up around that 105 mile an hour. Okay,
I think that was the Madam.
Yeah. So that's Max Stevens.
He had a good run at the last round, going by our TV coverage of that you can find on 7 Mate. And of course, the Yarrawonga round will go on to 7 Mate in the next month or so. So keep your eyes on your social media, and don't forget to join in and have a look at all of the National Drivers' Championship rounds for this year that'll be televised. Boat sounding super strong and sitting beautifully flat in the water. Bit deceiving, isn't it? That's 160 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, it puts it into perspective at the numbers that these big blown boats are pulling out of there. But yeah, not doing anything wrong out there. So that boat of Tony, I'll catch up with him later on and get a bit more detail on that machine. But looking good. Got a nice big waterline length, and it's going to suit these conditions. But